Y'all, this week on the podcast, welcome back. It's going to be fire. I am so excited. We are having literally our first athlete ever on the podcast. If you know me, if we are close friends, you know that I am about as athletic as a rock. So this episode is going to be so exciting. We are having my good friend, Katherine Walsh, professional golfer, media personality. She is incredible. Y'all are going to love her. She's so sweet, and she's on fire for Jesus, which is so important. So check out this latest episode of the podcast. Listen to our conversation right now. I'm so excited for y'all to hear it. Check it out. Tune in right now. Welcome to the podcast. Why don't you go ahead, introduce yourself.
Thank you for having me. My name is Katherine Walsh, and I am a golf pro and media personality.
Amazing. Okay. So one question we ask everybody that comes on the podcast is, what is keeping you present and focused during this day? Because there's so many distractions in the world.
For me, I feel like the answer is just God. I wake up every single day. I open my Bible, do my devotional, and I just really pray to the Lord and ask him to just give me a heart and mind and eyes to just always see him. That way, throughout the day, whatever goes on, I just always know that my eyes are focused on the Lord wherever he's at in the day.
Katherine, that is the best. I love it. Okay, now you were just talking about staying focused on God, staying like in his word. Now, being an athlete, there's like thousands and thousands of voices that are constantly like surrounding you, trying to like steal your attention. So what has been like the biggest, like, how do you stay like focused in your lane?
I'll be honest, it hasn't been easy. I think when you are, whether you're like wherever you are nowadays, especially with social media, there's just so much temptation. There's so many things that you like are told to follow, like these trends on TikTok, on Instagram, day to day, there's all these like people that are like, oh, follow this, be this person. And for me, it's really just kind of going back to God and going back to the Bible and asking myself, like, who does God call me to be? And praying to the Lord and asking him to reveal those qualities in me. And then always asking the Lord too, to reveal the parts of my life that need him and that where I need him to show me like who I'm supposed to be, whether it's like to be more humble, to be more honest, to be more kind, I think it's really hard today when you're told to like follow this person and follow this person when overall we're made to follow a God that never changes.
That is incredible. And I heard somebody say one day that it doesn't matter if you have one follower on Instagram or like 30 million followers, that there's still that one person that could be influenced by what you share and what you post. And that's one thing about you, is you're always sharing something that points back to Jesus and points back to keeping him at the center of it all.
God's good. If it wasn't for God, we would not be here. So always got to give credit where it's due.
Hi, everybody. We're going to take a quick break from the podcast to talk about our podcast sponsor, Faithful Counseling. We are so excited to partner with Faithful Counseling in order to promote better mental health. Mental health is such a big thing happening in our culture right now, and we want you to have a positive mental health. Faithful Counseling provides Christian counselors to people struggling with their mental health. You can click our link to receive 10% off your first month of therapy. Go check them out. What has God been teaching you in your story lately?
Wow. I would say God has definitely been teaching me to lean on him.
Yeah.
Recently I was diagnosed with stage 2 bone cancer. Not the best news in the world, but I think in times of pain and times of like sorrow and like, or times of like waiting where you're like, God, why is this happening to me? Like, why me? Like, what is the purpose of this? It's not a question so much so as why. I turned my perspective to be like, God, how can I best serve you through this? Even though that like my situation is not the most ideal, and even though like it's hard some days to wake up and get out of bed and I wish things were different, I know that like every single day is another opportunity to get up and serve him. And I think through this season, one of my goals and overall goals in life too is just like every interaction I have, every person I meet, like they were asked like, how was your interaction with Katherine, I would want them to say like, I felt like I met a piece of Jesus when I was talking to her. And I think in this like season, one of the things the Lord is also teaching me is like, just life is a gift. Like you never know, like, you know, if you're going to get sick tomorrow, you know, if there's car wrecks, what's going to happen. And as scary as that is, like just trusting the Lord and living out every single day for him has been something that's really been a goal of mine and something that he's teaching me.
Absolutely. And you do that so beautifully too, Katherine. Like, honestly, I remember when you first told us that you were diagnosed, you're like, yeah, I have cancer, but it's okay. Like, we're going to be fine. We're going to be fine. We're like, are you sure? Like, do you need anything? Like, what is going? No, but you lived that out so like you've maintained like a normal life, and like you're always a ray of sunshine.
Thank you.
A ray of sunshine. Okay, so now for me, like for both of us, we have this conversation a lot that relevancy is so hard, like with whether it's entertainment or whether it's sports. How do you combat like staying relevant with whether it's like social media, sports, whatever, like not like fading out? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I think for me, like there was a period in my life, and I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, I was like this all like I'm like am who I am today and have always been. Like there was a time in my life where I did get really into like the trends and like making sure I had enough followers and like was following the right accounts and that my brand aligned with like what was trending at the time. And now like the Lord really did a work in my life, and it goes back to just the power of prayer and just the power of God, to where like I really don't care like if I'm relevant or not. And I mean that in the most humble way, because like these trends and everything are changing every single day, and we were made to follow a God that never changes. And it's so tiring to be in a position to where you're always trying to change like your content or who you are as a person to follow like what society thinks is cool nowadays. So like for me, like how I stay relevant is really just being true to myself, like making sure that the brands that I'm sponsored by and who I partner with and who I surrounded by aligns with my morals and values. And like it has costed me some deals and some friends, and you know I miss them dearly, but at the same time, like, you know, knowing that I'm walking with God and am who he wants me to be means so much more than any number of followers or anything like that.
I love it. And that's so true. Like everything that you have done and that you've seen, like that people see you do, you're always just aligning your values with who God's created you to be, and like pointing them back to Jesus. Like it's all one big circle for you.
It is. God's good.
God is good. All the time. All the time.
God's good.
All the time.
The camp.
Bring out the church camp.
Good.
All the time.
God is good.
Oh my word. Okay. Biggest question, Katherine Walsh.
Oh gosh.
Golf. Okay. Let's talk about it. Because I have a mini golf score that is really bad. And you probably know that about me. I don't know. Have we talked about that? I don't know. But so what made you decide to be like, I really want to do golf for my life, for what's something that I want to pursue?
Yeah. So to be honest, it was not something I always wanted to pursue. I did not grow up being like, I want to be a professional golfer, I want to be on TV. None of that. I started playing golf as a kid with my dad. I was always a daddy's girl. I grew up hunting, fishing, playing golf, all the sports, love that. And golf is just another avenue for us to bond and get to know each other and grow closer, and I love that. And so started playing golf, played all throughout junior high, high school, got recruited to play in college. I tore my quad right before freshman year, so was not able to play. And so during that time in school, I started doing sideline reporting for ESPN and SEC Network. So I loved it. And then COVID hit 2020. No sports were going on except really for mainly golf. And I was like, you know what? I want to get back into golf. And so I worked really hard, grinded on my game, turned pro, and now my career is golf. And I love it. The Lord has blessed me with so many amazing opportunities, and just being able to serve him, you know, through the game has been great. I teach golf to people with special needs and disabilities, and that's just overall something I really want to do throughout my life. And so it's been amazing.
And okay, so when you're not doing golf, we met through Church of the City Franklin, which is the best church.
Yes, shout out to COTC Franklin.
Shout out, friends. Okay, but when you're not doing golf, you're serving there with City Friends, which is just such an incredible ministry. And like, what gave you this desire to serve, like, city friends and special needs kids?
Yeah, so I think growing up, and this is something that I owe to my parents, is I've always grown up with, like, a serving mentality.
Yeah.
Like, anywhere that I can help or anything or just step out of my way, like, I'm on it. Like, I really love to help people. And, you know, for me, I had one of my best friends growing up. His name was Evan. He had autism. And so that was my first time experiencing someone that was on the spectrum. And then growing up, my dad would always have us get involved volunteering with the Special Olympics. So I've been volunteering for Special Olympics since I was like 7 or 8 years old. I was super young. And so then now in my adult life, being able to carry that heart for people with special needs and disabilities has been really great. So when I found out Church of the City had a special needs ministry, I was like, yes, like I know for a fact. Like, yeah. It was just like one of those God things, like, yes, that is exactly where the Lord is calling me to be in the church right now. And it's just been amazing. Like, we serve these kids, but honestly, at the end of the day, I think they bring more to us than we do to them. Like, it's just so amazing, just like how joyful they are and just how full of life they are, and just it's just I'm gonna get like emotional talking about it, but it's just so amazing, like who they are.
I love
God
it.
Made them in such a special way to just be able to like share their joy with others, and then being able to be a part of that. It's just amazing.
That's so good, and you serve so well too, Katherine. I like Kid City Camp. The picture of you and your special like city friends buddy is so sweet. It's just so precious. Sweet little Max.
He's the best. He's so sweet. So full of life.
So sweet. They're so precious. Wonderful kids. Now, where can people keep up to date with you, like on all the golf things that are happening? And if they want to, can they come see you like play? Is that a thing?
Yeah, you can come see me play. Best way to keep up with me, honestly, would be on my Instagram. It's at my name, so at Katherine.Walsh. But that would be the best place to see what I'm up to, whether it's golf or ministry or stuff with my family and friends. That's the best place to get it.
Yes, she's so fun. I love to watch her. Sometime we're going to go out on the course, and she drives a mean golf cart. So
don't ask me to drive the golf cart. I'll drive your golf ball, but I will not drive the golf cart because
she'll hit a tree. It's true. It's true. Oh my word. Well, it's been so fun, Katherine. I'm so glad we did this. I'm so glad that you're here.
Thank you for having me.
Love having you as a friend. Friends, thank you so much for tuning in today to the episode of the podcast with sweet Katherine Walsh and myself. Y'all, if something you heard today impacted you, I just pray you will go and you will chase after, reach out to a friend, whatever it is. I pray that God is just moving in your heart and in your mind. And I pray that you know that you're so, so loved. If you want to keep up with all that Katherine is doing, feel free to connect with her on social media. If you want to keep up with all that we're doing, you can follow us at This Day Ministries. Know that you are so, so loved.